Imagine this. You've just been in a car accident that wasn't your fault. The other driver looks you in the eye, admits he caused the crash, and you both agree to let the insurance companies handle it. The claim gets processed, your car gets declared a total loss, you receive a check for the full payout, and your wrecked vehicle gets hauled off to a salvage yard. Done. Over. You move on with your life. Then the phone rings. It's the other driver's insurance company, and they're telling you that actually, none of that matters anymore. They're denying your claim. Because suddenly, a week after paying you out, the driver who hit you has changed his story entirely. If that sounds illegal, or at the very least completely insane, you are not alone in thinking that. And today we're going to break down exactly what happened in this situation, why insurance companies can actually do this, and most importantly, what you need to do if this ever happens to you. Let's get into it. So here's the setup. A driver is traveling through an intersection when another vehicle merges directly into their lane and makes contact with their car. This isn't a situation where fault is ambiguous. The other driver crossed into an occupied lane. By nearly every standard of traffic law across the country, that is a failure to maintain your lane, and it falls squarely on the driver who moved. Both vehicles pull over, both drivers get out. And here's the part that matters. The at-fault driver verbally admits that yes, he caused the accident. They exchange insurance information and agree to handle it through insurance the way responsible adults are supposed to. Our driver files a claim with the other driver's insurance company, which in this case is one of the largest auto insurers in the country. The insurance company sends out an adjuster, reviews the damage, and makes a determination. The car is a total loss. They calculate the actual cash value of the vehicle, cut a check, and arrange for the totaled car to be towed to a salvage yard. The claim is essentially closed. Money has been paid, property has been surrendered, and then 7 days later, everything flips upside down. The insurance company calls with a message that is almost hard to believe. They are now denying liability on the claim. The reason? The driver they insure has told them a completely different story. According to this new version of events, our driver is the one who failed to maintain their lane. The driver who originally admitted fault has now done a complete 180 and pointed the finger at the other person. So let's pause here and really sit with what's happening. An insurance company has already paid out a total loss claim. The vehicle no longer exists as property owned by the claimant. It's been taken to a salvage yard. The money has changed hands, and now they're saying the entire liability determination was wrong. The person who experienced this was rightfully confused and went online to ask a simple but important question. Is this even legal? Can an insurance company pay you out and then come back and say they're not actually responsible? And the frustrating answer is yes. Technically, they can attempt to do this. Here's why. When an insurance company initially processes a claim, especially in the early days right after an accident, they are often working with limited information. They may accept a preliminary version of events, move quickly to resolve the property damage side of things, and then later, when their own insured gives them a different account, they revisit the liability question. Insurance companies are not courts. Their initial payout does not automatically function as a binding legal admission of fault. From a legal standpoint, making a payment under a claim is not always the same as formally accepting liability, particularly if the payment was made before a full investigation was completed. Now, does that make what they're doing right? Absolutely not. Does it make it fair? Not even close. But it does happen, and it happens more often than most people realize. Here's what makes this situation particularly complicated. The vehicle is gone. It's been sent to a salvage yard. That car was physical evidence. The damage pattern on that vehicle could have told a very clear story about where the point of impact was, which direction the force came from, and who was in whose lane. Once that car is crushed or sold off, that evidence is significantly harder to recover, if it can be recovered at all. The insurance company, whether intentionally or not, processed the vehicle out of existence before the liability dispute ever surfaced. This is the kind of thing that makes experienced attorneys look up from their desks when you walk in to describe your situation. Now let's talk about what the at-fault driver actually did here, because this behavior has a name. When someone admits fault at the scene of an accident and then changes their story when speaking to insurance companies or law enforcement, that is called recanting. People do it for a lot of reasons. Sometimes they get home, calm down, and start thinking about how this is going to affect their insurance premiums. Sometimes a family member or friend tells them they shouldn't have admitted anything. Sometimes their insurance company advises them, directly or indirectly, to walk back their statement. And sometimes people are just dishonest. The problem is that verbal admissions made at the scene of an accident, while powerful as moral evidence, are notoriously difficult to prove without a witness or a recording. If there are no witnesses who heard the admission, and if the conversation wasn't recorded, it becomes one person's word against another's. Insurance companies know this, and unfortunately, some drivers know it too. So where does that leave our driver? In a genuinely difficult spot, but not a hopeless one. First and most immediately, this situation almost certainly requires an attorney. Not eventually, not as a last resort. Now, an attorney who handles personal injury or insurance bad faith claims can evaluate whether the insurance company's behavior rises to the level of bad faith, which is a legal standard that can actually result in additional damages being awarded against the insurer. When an insurance company pays a claim and then attempts to reverse course in ways that harm the claimant, there are legal theories that can be pursued. This isn't just about getting the original claim reinstated. There may be grounds for something more. Second, our driver should contact their own insurance company immediately. Even if the accident wasn't their fault, their own insurer has a vested interest in protecting them and fighting this reversal. Their own insurance company can assign an adjuster and potentially an attorney to push back on the denial. This is exactly what uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage exists for, and this is also why carrying solid coverage on your own policy matters even when you're the innocent party. Third, a police report is gold in situations like this. If one was filed at the scene, that report may document the initial statements made by both drivers, the position of the vehicles, witness information, and the officer's preliminary assessment of what happened. That report can directly contradict the driver's news story and give the insurance company or a court something concrete to work with. Fourth, any photos taken at the scene are critical evidence. If our driver photographed the damage, the positioning of the vehicles, tire marks, road conditions, or anything else at the scene, those photos can speak to what happened even after the vehicles are gone. Same goes for any witnesses. If anyone saw the accident happen, their statement could be decisive. Now let's pull back and look at what everyone watching this video should take away from this story. Because the lessons here are important, regardless of whether you've ever been in an accident. Number 1, never let anyone pressure you into skipping the police report. Even in minor accidents, even when the other driver is being cooperative and friendly and apologetic, call the police and get a report filed. A verbal admission means very little if it isn't documented somewhere. Number 2, take photos of everything before you leave the scene. The damage to both vehicles, the positions of the cars, the intersection, any skid marks, the road signs, everything. These photos can become evidence that outlasts the vehicles themselves. Number 3, if someone admits fault, write it down as soon as possible. Note the time, their exact words, and whether anyone else was present. Text it to someone so there's a timestamp. Anything that creates a contemporaneous record of what was said matters. Number 4, understand that an insurance company's initial payment does not necessarily mean the case is fully and finally closed, especially on the liability side. Don't let your guard down until you have something in writing that explicitly resolves the claim. And number 5, if something feels wrong with how your claim is being handled, talk to an attorney. Many personal injury and insurance attorneys offer free consultations. You don't need to navigate these situations alone, and the insurance companies are not on your side. They have lawyers. You should have access to one too. The driver in this story was put in an incredibly unfair position through no fault of their own. They did everything right. They pulled over, they exchanged information, they went through the proper channels, and they still ended up on the phone with an insurance company that had already cashed their car out of existence, telling them they might not be covered after all. That is the reality of dealing with insurance companies sometimes, and the only real protection you have is knowing your rights and acting on them quickly. If this happened to you or someone you know, share this video with them. The information here could make a real difference in how they respond. And if you want more real-world stories about insurance claims, policyholder rights, and how to protect yourself when the system doesn't work the way it's supposed to, subscribe to this channel. We cover these situations every week so that when it matters most, you're not figuring it out from scratch.